Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Velenkosini Hlabisa has made a number of site visits to informal settlements around Cape Town. This, of course, following the stormy weather which left a number, I think, over 100,000 people affected due to flooding as well as wind and storm damage over the past week. We spoke to him just now here in the Samora Machel informal settlement in Philippi, and he has said that the disaster that was declared means now that all hands will be on deck, and that, according to the Premier of the Western Cape, Alan Winde, also means that the work to rebuild and to restore will now continue, and perhaps at a faster pace. I'm joined now by the Mayoral member for Human Settlements in the city of Cape Town, Carl Pophaim. You've welcomed, sir, the declaration of a disaster. We find ourselves in an area where people have built in what looks like a swamp or around the swamp. And so when the minister talks about political parties, all of government, the government of national unity, to dissuade people from building and living in low-lying areas, what does that mean to you as a Mayoral member? We know that the city of Cape Town sees this kind of event happening winter after winter, irrespective of whether it is indeed a level 8 warning.
No, absolutely. I welcome it. As you've said, it's absolutely critical, and I think coupled with that is that we need some urgent action steps in remedial action towards what we have faced. I mean, Cape Town's faced a very difficult time over the last week, but number one, I think let's start with the PI Act. We need to legally stop people from being able to erect structures in places where they'll never be able to live, where they'll never be able to get access to services, and that's absolutely critical. Secondly, I welcome the disaster declaration, and I've challenged my team now to come together, and we're going to look at category C municipalities in which we know that individuals there are in low-lying areas with high floodplains, to look at relocating them into spaces, but that's going to require us to relax perhaps land use management requirements, supply chain management processes, and access to more funds in order to do so. But I'm committing myself as an MMC with my team to begin that process. And I think lastly, but more importantly, we need access to more suitable land. The reality is we need to partner within the spirit of the Government of National Unity with the Department of Public Works to look at the vast tracts of land they have available where we can relocate people. Youngsfield, Eysterplaat, Culemborg, Acacia Park, Laboria Park, these are all vast tracts of lands which I believe that we can work together on to ensure we create more human settlements opportunities for the people of Cape Town and utilizing other spaces for parliamentarians and officials, etc.
We know that it's sunny out today, but of course more rain on the cards. Plans going forward for the immediate sort of relief for people finding themselves living in these conditions?
No, certainly. I think my department has been on the ground. I've been with them as well. We've up until today in the last week delivered 8,000 flood kits to communities in order to ensure that we can protect them in terms of their structures from the weather. We are looking forward to seeing more weather in this week. It won't be as bad as last week according to predictions, but you know, with the Disaster Response Centre, our teams in our line departments are on standby. I think what's critical now is for us to continue relocating people who are in inclement spaces where they're going to have experienced flooding. But I reiterate my call, and Minister Kubai knows that I work very well with her, and I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm saying in the city of Cape Town, it works better when we administer the housing grant. She's done exceptional work to relocate people in other facilities, but the reality is people don't want to move far away from where they are, where they're established. And so as a department, we are saying, allow us to administer the emergency housing grant. Let us relocate the most vulnerable people now as we work towards a broader plan of category C municipalities, informal settlements being relocated.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Of course, the Mayoral member for Human Settlements in the city of Cape Town, Carl Pophaim, wrapping up really a series of site visits by the COGTA Minister here in Cape Town. We know that informal settlements were particularly hard hit, and then also some suggestions being made in terms of in future making sure that people refrain from building in low-lying areas, and saying that an all of government approach is necessary to ensure that what we've seen happening over the past week or so does not repeat itself winter after winter in areas like Cape Town.